In this video, we're going to talk about a slightly more abstract part of CSS, and it's called the box model. You'll notice I've cleared out this CSS file so we can start from a fresh slate when working on this. So this is what our page looks like while we're starting. And before we start writing code, I just want to show you this diagram. This is the box model. You'll be able to find this around the internet, but essentially it comes with multiple layers. Now on the inside of an element, there is a part of a box model called the padding. On the edge, there is the border, and on the outer side, there is the margin. So let's come back to our code and see how we can apply this. So if we take a look at the moment, we can look here at, let's use this H1 element as our guinea pig. So we're going to use an H1 selector, and let's give it a background color because that's going to make it a bit easier to see. So we're going to use tomato. So there we go. There's our element there. And let's add some padding. And so we use a sizing unit here. So as mentioned, we can use several, but for now we're just going to use something like 20 pixels, and we're going to refresh. And we'll notice that there's been some spacing added inside of the element, and you can't see it here on the right, but it is all four sides. They are all 20 pixels. Let's talk about margin next. So if we add margin 20 pixels, this will add space on the outside of the element. So now all four sides have 20 pixels on the outside, and that's margin. Let's talk about borders next. So border actually requires three different rules. So there's border width. So let's make the border width 5 pixels. There's a border style, and let's just use solid. So it's a solid line all the way around. And then finally, border color. And let's make this black. So if we go back and refresh, we have a 5 pixel border. So we have 20 pixels on the outside, 5 pixels on the edge, and 20 pixels on the inside. If we right click this and hit inspect element, actually, we should be able to find layout over here. And this is in Firefox. In Chrome, it's slightly different. It's at the bottom of your CSS pane. But here we have another view of our box model. So here is our element, here is the padding, here is the border, and here is the margin. And this is how we add a little bit of spacing in or around our elements. In fact, out of interest, if we go to our body element here, you'll see it automatically has an 8 pixel margin, and you can see it's highlighted there. It's around the entire edge of the screen, which is why earlier when we added the body tag in, everything shifted down and to the right slightly. And we can change this if we want in our CSS, but we won't for now. So that's a little bit about the box model. Now, what happens if we want to add slightly different spacing on different edges? Well, padding and margin are a shorthand to say add this on all sides, but maybe we just want to add a padding left. So we can go padding dash left and refresh. Now there's padding on the left, but not on the top or bottom or right. So maybe we can then go padding top, and let's make that 40 pixels, for example, and refresh. And now we can see we can be a bit more granular about how we do this. There are shorthands for some of these elements, but for now I want to focus on writing them fully.